What do companies really want? What's changed since 2020? Whether it's fair or not, a lot of managers believe Gen Z struggle with. Hey everyone, welcome to Career Amplified. I'm your host, Karen Dixon. Today's episode is one of many that you've asked for. Why Gen Zs are struggling to land or keep jobs in 2025. If you're a Gen Z or you're the parent of one, you've probably felt it. Job postings that want 2 to 3 years of experience for entry-level roles. AI tools reshaping what junior employees used to do. Companies pulling people back into the office when grads hoped for flexibility. And it could feel like, wait, did I miss the boat before my career even started? Today, we're going to unpack exactly what Gen Zs are facing during these unique challenges in 2025. We'll talk about what's changed, what mistakes to avoid, and most importantly, what you can do to not just land the job, but keep it and thrive. And stick around because at the end, I'll share how you can dive deeper with the Gen Z Workforce Essentials Mastery course. It's designed to give you the step-by-step playbook to succeed in today's job market. So the first question is, what's changed since 2020? What's different from then versus now? And first things first, this isn't your imagination. The job market for Gen Zs is really, really hard right now. Here's what's changed. So companies are pulling employees back into the office. 2025 was seen as the highest office attendance since the pandemic. That means if you were banking on long-term remote work, good luck because opportunities just narrowed. Entry-level pipelines are even tighter. Employers are hiring fewer grads than they planned, which means more people are fighting for the same number of roles. It's absolutely insane. Internships aren't converting into full-time jobs as often as they used to, and that slows down the launch pad in your first role. So the other thing is AI is taking over junior tasks, things like first pass analysis or data cleanup, or even something as simple as drafting reports. These tasks new grads used to cut their teeth into are like automated now. So the other thing is youth employment, especially among students and recent grads, that ticked upwards massively. So yes, the ladder has shifted. The first few rungs are further apart and the climb looks completely different. That's why so many of you feel like you're spinning your wheels. And so I want to talk about the big frictions, and I want to name the big friction points that Gen Zs are hitting right now. Number one, experience inflation. Even so-called entry-level jobs are asking for years of experience, which is really absurd. And that could be discouraging, but here's the trick. You could substitute experience with outcomes. So capstone projects, freelance work, even a short case study for nonprofit, that counts. Number two, AI backlash in hiring. Recruiters are flooded with AI-generated resumes, and many of them are even rejected upon seeing them. They're rejected on the spot. So here's my advice. Use AI to polish, but don't let it erase your voice. The best resumes sound unmistakably you. Number three, biased resume screening. So because of AI and these automated systems, they aren't perfect. And sometimes they filter unfairly. Keyword aligned resumes matter so much. And number four, return to office mismatch. Many Gen Zs want flexibility, but companies are consolidating back to offices. So if you're applying for remote roles only, you're shrinking your chances. And number five, the soft skills gap narrative. Whether it's fair or not, a lot of managers believe Gen Z struggle with communication and professionalism. That perception affects hiring greatly, which means you need to show proof, not just that you have the soft skills, but demonstrate them with stories and metrics. So the other question is, what do companies really want? And here's the reality: companies don't buy resumes, they don't even buy skills, they buy outcomes. So they want evidence that you can move a number, improve a process, or solve a problem. They want to know that you can use AI as a tool with judgment, not as a crutch. They also want you to show up and adapt to the office rhythm and collaborate. And they want to know that you align to their reality. Yes, you care about balance, you care about purpose, but you also need to deliver under deadlines and client expectations. So when you're framing your story, think outcomes, not hours. Proof, not promises. I want to talk to you about a practical playbook. And this is going to sound tactical, but here's a step-by-step playbook for you. Step 1, target smarter. Pick 3 to 5 spaces you can help solve a problem. That could be with, for example, customer retention, onboarding, compliance, operations. Look for roles that are adjacent to AI, where human judgment still adds value, because that still does exist. Step 2, build proof fast. So what you can do is create a mini portfolio, 2 short case studies, maybe 1 live project you could show, and 1 example of how you used AI responsibly. Step 3, beat the bots. Mirror job description language. I know it sounds silly, right? But keep it crisp. Use AI to draft, but rewrite it in your own voice. Step 4, win the 5-minute screen. Prepare 3 short stories, 1 about learning fast, 1 about handling ambiguity, and 1 about fixing a mistake. Step 5, network like it's part of your job. 10 small asks a week, 1 working in the public post, and make sure that it's consistent, because consistency beats volume. Step 6, stick the landing after you're hired. So in the first 30 days, confirm success metrics. So ship 1 small win, document your impact. And if you're back in the office, be early. Summarize your meetings, build micro relationships. That's how you keep the job. I asked Gen Zs what their top questions for me were, and some of them did ask me some really interesting questions. Some pretty straightforward, but some like, yeah, what about that? Like, how should I handle that? And one of the questions they asked me was, should I put AI on my resume? Like, the fact that you know AI or that you've used AI. And the answer is yes, but frame it as a tool you use responsibly, not something that you completely relied upon. Another question was, how do I get experience without a job? Create it. There's freelance, volunteer, side projects. Those are things that you can sink your teeth into. And then I talked about this before, but remote only or bust. That limits your funnel. So consider hybrid and be open to on-site positions. Somebody asked me, is tech still worth it? Absolutely it is. But be flexible on the role and the employer size. I was also asked, how many applications a week should I send out? I would say 10 quality tailored applications will beat 50 generic ones. And what if I keep losing final rounds? Okay, so what you can do there is you can ask for 1 piece of microfeedback, then circle back with proof that you actually acted on it. I think that shows a lot of initiative, and sometimes it even opens doors for future opportunities for you. How do I show soft skills on paper? Yeah, that's really tough, but you want to quantify them with results. So give an example, like you de-escalated 12 client issues and prevented churn, for example. How do I talk salary without losing the offer? This is a big question that usually comes about. What you want to do is you want to anchor data and pair it with a 90-day plan. It shows that you're de-risking the hire. And yes, you might think, okay, a 90-day plan is a little bit intense, but you want to show some kind of proof that they are making the right hiring decision with you. I also asked parents, what are your questions for your Gen Zs? And here are some questions that they asked. Should I help write my child's resume? Um, yeah, I would say guide them, but don't ghostwrite. Let them have their own voice when they're writing their resume. Another question was, is grad school the answer right now? And in my opinion, only if it leads to a license, a wage premium, or a network. Otherwise, experience wins. And lastly, a question that they ask is, you know what? My child is discouraged. How do I keep the momentum? Focus on input goals, maybe 10 contacts a week, one project a week. So progress feels like it's achievable. Take it in chunks and do it in chunks, if that makes sense. I want to talk a little bit more about keeping the job because landing the job is only half the battle. So keeping it and thriving is where careers are built. In your first 90 days, for example, ask your manager what success looks like in the first month. Then you can deliver a small win early. Propose a tiny project that adds visible value. And if you're in office, make those days count. Show up early, listen, and take initiative. Retention is your rocket fuel. It's what turns one job into a career. So, in closing, here's the truth. Gen Zs, you are not the problem. The system is shifting faster than anyone expected. But with that right mindset and the right tools, you can navigate the market and build a career you're proud of. And if you're ready to go deeper, I built something just for you. It's called the Gen Z Workforce Essentials Mastery Course, and it's now live at Career Amplified. Inside, we walk step by step through how to develop in-demand skills, how to build your personal brand, how to find the job opportunities, understanding the modern workplace, landing the job opportunity, and lastly, how to amplify your career and future-proof it, because that's going to be so essential to your success. So if you're sending out apps with no response, or if you're parent watching your child struggle, this course gives you the roadmap. I'll drop the link in the show notes, so check it out because your career deserves a strategy, not guesswork. Until next time, work smart, live well, and keep evolving.